And then, as I said, one of the reasons you came back to a team, it's funny, this is like a theme throughout your career. Vesslan was one of the players who obviously respected you as a player. He brought you in. So I remember you went with this team. It was kind of a similar scenario. It was the Esports United lineup where they just put together a bunch of the best players from all different teams. There was like Scream and those guys from like the Too Easy team. And Arl was there, who wasn't in NIP now. And the Vesslan had like him and someone, I think maybe Swift or something from Nordic Division. And then they brought you in. And so you came back to the team. You finished third at another CPL, another big one in Dallas, right?
Yeah, true. That was with, was that, I'm trying to remember. So it was Vesslan, it was All, Scream, me, and Ralph.
Yes,
right?
Swift, yes.
Yeah, Swift. That's cool. Yeah. So that.
Oh,
that
and
was
Bronk
cool
as well. It was a six-man unit.
Oh,
and you rotated in. There you go.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so Bronk was even at that time because I know that I stayed with him in
years
in
later,
LA later on.
Sure.
But yeah, okay, so I played with Bronk already then. That's cool. Yeah, so I think we just I know that Vesslan, he was the one that actually got me to this. If we go back before Game Online, so I played in 9 Örebro. That's how it started. I didn't have my own computer or anything. It was before broadband was a thing in Sweden. It was just before that. So 9 Örebro was the first place in Örebro that got this 100 megabit up and down.
Right.
So I always played a lot of computer games, but it wasn't my own computer. I was playing at different cafes and friends and stuff like that. So I started my CS career just playing. After I went to this LAN with my friends and played on just a random computer there, I started to play in 9 Örebro when they had like this qualification about like anyone could play, and the 5 best players started this 9 Örebro team. So I was sitting there playing for 9 Örebro when Vesslan contacted me and like, oh, he played for Mafia at that time, yes. I think, something like that. So yeah, in the beginning, he contacted me when I played there, and I went to this Remedy LAN in Stockholm, I believe. But that didn't really turn out to be something then. And I think at that LAN, I think it was Smurfa that actually picked me up and asked me to join Game Online together with Executor at that time. And that's how it started, that journey. And then later, after the Game Online was over, then I think Vesslan contacted me again because he knew me. I like played with him a bit, and he see me play at these tournaments, and just, oh, I'm starting this cool team. We have a sponsor. I think it was like Shuttle and Sennheiser and stuff like that.
Real companies, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you get everything paid. You get your own computer. You get your gear. We're gonna like pay for like travel and hotels and stuff like that. And you're gonna compete in the biggest tournament. So it was always this like nice guy. I think it was always. I was 18. He was like 21. So I was a couple of years older, and I always. He let me stay at his place, then we cooked food and like had a nice time around the Counter-Strike. Is like not only playing Counter-Strike, but a lot of other things we did as well. So it was like a really nice team to be around. And Ralph was like a super nice guy as well.
Yeah, if people don't know, like the other thing back then is there was a lot of teams that were players who were just super nerdy and they were just good at the game and they were just in a team because someone asked them. But one of the things I always thought was actually quite unique about Vesslan was, I can see why you say he had the sports background, etc. He was a couple of years older too, because he was a guy where not only was he one of the first players who actually did try to do real tactics and not just, run in and shoot people and have better aim. He not only did that, but as you say, he understood like team dynamics. Like you actually have to have people you get along with and you have to have like a team spirit. And even though people sometimes memed on him later for this, he was a guy who would do like a speech before a game and try and like rally the troops. He didn't just go like, let's shoot them and go in the game. He'd have some angle that he was going to sell you on, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was kind of used to that from my sports background. So I think it was a bit too soft in other teams. And he was more this guy like making a speech and telling people when they did bad, like, oh, we need to improve and step up now, guys, and stuff like that. Like you needed that little extra push, and it wasn't always like this. Oh, sorry, let's try to do it better next time. It was like, oh, we're playing shit right now. Let's try to improve this. and I was more used to that from my sports background. So we kind of clicked quite early around like all these team synergies and how to handle a team and putting some pressure. Like I always needed the pressure because I understood, or I knew that I performed under pressure, but I had a hard time feeling that pressure. Like I wasn't that emotional guy in that sense. So to like create some I don't know, like virtual pressure or fake pressure around not only the biggest tournaments and the most important games helped me to actually get that extra focus and a little bit of being a little bit of nervous for more games, so I could compete at like the highest level that I knew that I could compete at.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.